Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. Today I'm going to talk about color magic, not just for candles either. So I'm going to be doing an update in my grimoire, which I'll show you in just a moment. Just keep in mind, I am very simple. I wish I was more artistic, but I just wrote the words and added a little bit of washi, but you guys will see. I'll just speed that up and put that on for you in just a moment. But here's what I just wanted to talk about as far as color magic is concerned. I actually think that's a very huge part of a lot of people's practice. Colors matter. Colors matter. It does matter in your witchcraft. I truly believe this. For instance, most of us, even if you're somewhat seasoned, you don't have to be very much so. Certain colors evoke certain emotions, so you can probably agree with that. So, for instance, red. Red elicits certain types of emotions for different people. It could represent passion. For some people, it's jarring. It's too much, as far as having it in their home, let's say on their bedroom wall. That would be too much for them. They couldn't rest. In others, it invites passion. It invites fiery energy, creativity. And they like that. They want to go to sleep and wake up to that. So I think we all have different reactions to colors. I think we can all agree on that. When you add the extra layer of being a witch or a practitioner, of sorts who does magic, spells, workings, and so forth, colors definitely are important. How the color choice of your candles, even what you're wearing. Let's fast forward. Ceremonial magic, rituals. You're most likely, the colors that you wear, your robes, that's not by accident. People don't just wear the black robes because they just happen to find those. Typically, it's for a reason, because they might have other robes for other rituals. So you might wear all white, you might wear all black, or it might be red or some other color, or purple. They have their own energy, and I think it's even more powerful if you connect with that energy, which is what I want to get into. The way I define my colors, the energy, what they represent, is based on my practice. Now, of course, there's some universal agreements on this where, I believe certain colors mean certain things. White is an all-purpose type of color for the most part. However, if I'm hexing you, if I'm doing any sort of baneful type magic, yeah, white's probably not what I want. But overall, in general, it's, you can have white stand in for other things. But on its own, it represents for some people purity, purification. And I agree with that. So that's something I think a lot of us probably see that color as. You see that in religious ceremonies. People wear all white when you get married. The virginal bride is wearing all white. The purpose of her wearing white is to represent her being more pure. Later about that, if you don't agree with that, I understand. But the point is, that's what the concept, that's where it's coming from. So anyway, I think we all probably agree on some of the colors and meanings, but some of us have different emotions tied to those colors, even when we use them in magic. So if you're reading a book or you're on a website or someone's telling you this color means this, and that when you see that color, that's not what you get. You get something totally different. Please use what you feel, because that's going to resonate more, obviously, in your spell work. But you guys know that, right? You can kind of ignore that. I think you can ignore it. For some people, white is purity, it's cleansing, and all that sort of stuff. For others, they might think black is that way. And let me tell you why. New life is created in darkness. That there's nothing more pure than that. That nothingness is a fresh slate of all black, to create and to have something new. Also, when you burn something, you can burn until it's black, and maybe you burn off, purify it, so to speak. It just depends on your emotions and how you sort of vibe, how you think of these colors. You might think totally different. And I know there are a lot of people who are like that. They see something different when they see that color. It brings about a different type of emotion, a different type of energy. So just stay with that. The other thing that I just want to say as far as about color magic is it's not just for candles. For instance, for some of us, especially those of us who are doing, I want to say multi-layered spells, you're doing things where, you're working for, let's say, I use this example in other videos, a better life. We'll just start there. So that's the general name of the spell, the better life spell. But within that better life spell are lots of variations of spells and intentions that ultimately will culminate into a better life. But first, you have to do all these other things in between. So there's action steps, there's magic, lifting it, boosting it up further so you can reach your goal. So the better life spell. So if I know I'm not very healthy, and it's not about weight, I don't want to go into that, but I know I'm not healthy. I'm not eating right. I'm not taking medications I'm supposed to take. I'm not doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing. So part of that is to make myself a priority. Self-love spell, because you can set reminders, you can do all that, but you have to care for yourself. You have to love yourself enough to take care of yourself, right? So a self-love spell. The next thing is your work, or you have you don't like your career, or you don't even have one. You're just kind of just floating from job to job. So you have a spell for all that sort of stuff. So, and so on and so on. You're trying to have a better love life, better connections, friendships, like you want a better life. So, and those things mean a better life for you, all those aspects of your life, finances, everything, right? So how does that translate into dealing with color magic? Well, there's the initial spell where you're going to have different candles, of course, for to represent that maybe each aspect of your life or your intention or the energy, whatever it is, right? So you probably get that part, but did you realize that what maybe during the spell, what you have on, when you think of a better life, when you think of bettering yourself, or you think of the future you, this person you're trying to grow into using magic, what does that look like? Is it a sunny day, so a bright yellow sun? Yellow. Is it at night and you're on a town? Is it dark blue? Is it black? So maybe those are the type of clothes that you want to have, the colors you want to have on your clothes. Whatever you have on, it doesn't matter. You have be on a bra and panty set, but if it's black, it means something to you. But the point is, you can take it a step further. Then, as you're carrying out the work of the spell during the mundane pieces, you can still boost it with magic. You can make sure that, okay, well, you start drinking out of a green mug, a green color mug or something with green on it, which represents, the financial aspects of your life, being more fruitful. Something like that, you make sure that all of a sudden you're wearing pink lipstick or something, you know what I mean? A variation of pink lipstick or pink blush. You normally don't do that, or plum colors or whatever it is. But these things are intentional because that color represents that, and it's always in your head. You're always staying aligned with those goals that you set, that you did the magic and the workings for. So everything's in a line. So those are also triggers for your mind, honestly, to stay aligned so that you don't miss opportunities. Everything, let me tell you, so it's clothes, that's one. I'm just going into that. For some of us, hair, dyeing your hair a certain color, yes, you can make that into something that is more to do about the magic than it is about just the aesthetic. That new life you say you want, whatever that color represents, maybe you want to dye your hair that color. And that is a reminder. Every time you look in a mirror, you're on your way to that, or you're already there. Claim it now, however you want to go about doing your working. But you get my point. Things in your home, your decor, all of that sort of stuff. Even to be honest with you, some of the foods you eat, the certain colors, maybe you want to have a type of ritualistic meal where you're only featuring certain types of colors of meals for the whole purpose of intentional work. Remember, this is all you. This is your magic. This is what you want to do. What I am doing is just giving ideas beyond the candle color. I use candle magic a lot. That's probably, I use candle magic in almost everything. However, I'm also big on adding other layers to my workings and ongoing. Not everything is a one and done. You did the spell, now you just wait to see what happened. There's other things I like to do in between, like, the shower ritual that I do, the coffee tea spell that I do. the kitchen magic that I, bring about. So I'm still constantly, just adding a little bit of sprinkle of magic just to keep that magic going. Just a little bit more. And then, I'm bringing in whatever else I didn't even imagine, whatever else I didn't even see for myself. I'm bringing that in with all those little bits of magic that I do throughout the day. But again, as far as color magic is concerned, so hair, clothes, food, decor, the things that you have around you, paint colors, obviously, but all of that ties in if you're putting intention into it, obviously. Now, on the flip side, whether or not you put intention in something or not, I believe there's something, and I kind of alluded to this a bit earlier, to, let's say you move into, the best way to describe it, you move into a new place. The house is painted a color that just, you love the house, but that color in that particular room or throughout the house, or the color on the outside of the house, kind of just, it's something about it that just really turns you off. Don't ignore that. That's a very real thing. There are things tied to that. There's this idea I think some of us have that because, being human, or I don't know, that we're like robots or something, and we're all supposed to be, very rational minded all the time, and not given to any emotions, as if emotions are bad. What's wrong with people? We have instinct, we have intuitiveness for a reason. If a certain color really upsets you, and there are some people where they just like, you'll say that I hate that color. Don't discount it. They really do hate that color. Now, why they hate that particular color, we can get into that. That's a separate conversation. But if you're one of those people where it, not in general, I mean, then again, maybe you do hate certain colors, I don't know, but, if it's affecting you, a house, someone sends you material and it's, laced in all these colors that that just upset you, then I think that is something for you not to ignore. And I think it's a valid concern, and you should acknowledge it. And if it's possible, change it, because you're tapped into your intuitiveness. Something about that is not okay. And it might be some energy tied to that color. It's not a thing about, it reminds you of something. That's possible. And that's more psychology. I'm talking about us witches, us people who are intuitive, those people who are tapped into that energy and realize a lot of times there's more than what's on the surface. You don't know if something else energies were tied to that. Was magic done, on that house, or when that house was painted that color, the person who chose that color, what was their intention, There's all this other stuff. So I say, if you feel a strong negative emotion about something, then change it if possible. Definitely change that color. Change whatever you can change about it. On the flip side, if you find in the summertime you love wearing sundresses and you realize all your sundresses are about the same color, they're typically white. Maybe a couple flowers or something on them, but it's almost all white. You love a good white linen party. You're always dressing in white. It's something about that just makes you feel good. You feel light and airy. You feel clean, So how I would say is, if you want to keep that feeling, maybe wear white more often, and not just wear white, bring it around you. Your bedding, make sure it's crisp white sheets. Actually, the easiest sheets to get, because crisp white sheets, pillows, cases, and all that sort of stuff. Make sure you have that. That's doing something for you. That's reinforcing something in you, energetically speaking. That's a good thing, and you're getting energy from that, and that's great. Definitely, give into that. Go all in. Who is it? What's her name? Oh gosh, I can't remember. She's an actress. Lisa Ray. I think she's somebody who wears white all the time. I don't know her reason for that. But I'm assuming energetically she's getting something from that. It's appealing to her. I'm not sure the reason behind it. But the point is, and if anybody knows, let me know in the comments. I could always Google it, I guess. But I know she used to always wear white. I think she still does. I don't know. But the point is, give into all of that. I can't say this enough. I feel free. in my magic. I feel free in my witchcraft. I feel free as Mika, you know, because a long time ago, I realized nobody else has all the answers. I can give you some ideas. I can hopefully inspire you. I can get you thinking about something. Maybe it was already there, but you know, I start talking about it. So now you're kind of thinking a little bit more on the subject. Maybe you have been wanting to kind of delve a little bit more into color magic beyond candles. And I'm hoping this video does that. You know, a lot of times I sit, I brainstorm, and I think, and I'd like to believe part of it is part of my intuition coming into play, as well as spirit and, you know, whatever energy that's being sent my way. I think, you know, that helps with me come up with these ideas. So I hope this is super helpful. Now, it's your magic, just like that's me. That's how I operate. So these colors and the things that I'm talking about, it all makes sense to me. I realize for some people, maybe it's not that deep. And I don't think that means they're less than or less witchy or less anything for that matter. That's fine. At some point, to be honest, during my witchcraft, it wasn't that deep for me either. I only thought is in terms of practical usage of color magic, which was candles, maybe clothes, but I never really got that much into it. But as my witchcraft has evolved, honestly, it's something I have gotten a little bit, not a little, a lot more into. I realize, well, I'm more into, you know, correspondences and things like that, deeper meanings. As someone who spent a lot of time not being a little too superficial about stuff like that, and when I was younger, not in a negative, bad way, just in an ignorant way, because I didn't know any better. And I went a long time that way, in my opinion, where, you know, it would have been great if I knew all this stuff from before, but here we are now, fast forward years later, and I do know. But yeah, because of that, yeah, I tend, you'll see stuff on my channel where it's simple maybe to other people, but I know there's a lot of us out there who, we read this in books, we hear this, but we're not actually practicing it. We're not actually doing it. So like this color magic, you know, all that sort of stuff, man, you can get into gradients as well, you know, and you can think, you know, reddish orange and what that might represent to you, you know, somewhere between purple and blue, you know, you can create colors with that, you know, just think of a color wheel and the different gradients. You can really take this a lot further than just the simple definitions that you're going to see that I use. And I say go for it, do it. I feel free because it's my witchcraft and I practice how I want. I learned that years ago. No one has all the answers, so that means it's fair game for me too to figure this thing out, this life thing, this spirituality thing for myself. So I suggest you do the same. And why is there a siren? Anyway, hopefully, I should say that's probably an emergency. Anyway, here you go. So let's get into my little video here of me updating my grimoire. So hold on, here it goes. All right, so I'm starting with a blank page in my grimoire here. And again, I keep it basic, guys. I got a fancy marker. That's how fancy I'm getting. But honestly, the simplicity for me was writing sort of in black and white, or off-white, I guess, because of the paper. But it's something about that where it's like a blank slate and I'm just giving myself the information. I was going to use like colored pencils and swipe through the words, but I kind of just like the way I have it here. But I'm just listing the colors, you know, that I mostly would use, you know, as far as in color magic, and their meanings. So that's what I'm doing right here. And what these meanings mean to me. Remember, a lot of us kind of have a universal definition when it comes to color magic. Again, white, protection, purification, peace, all that sort of stuff. But, you know, we all have variations, like the blue, light blue, and dark blue. I don't think they mean the same thing, at least to me. You know, healing, light blue, I think healing energy, but dark blue, I think of psychic energy. I just wrote that, I got that word from a book, psychism, and I said, I'm running with it. I like the I don't know, I like the way it looked. But anyway, yeah, I'm just writing all of the meanings down that resonate with me. Brown is another one. When I think of brown, I think of earth energy, solid, steady, and for the healing work with animals. So, and you just see me now, I'm just applying the washi with a lot of colors because I thought that would add a little bit of pizzazz to the page. Um, Really, for me, it's more about the information more than anything. But yeah, so I went ahead and added that. And I think it looks really pretty. And yeah. Oh, and this page is basically me just trying to show you that I technically have correspondence already, color correspondence, but it's to the date of the week, which is also super helpful. So when doing magical spell work, I didn't talk about that. That's something to keep in mind. And some additional things that I took out of an old calendar that, again, is just super helpful to me. So yeah. And then finally, I just kind of want to show you guys just the finished product here. Super excited. Thanks again for watching. Again, this is Mika. Leap Taken. Please like, subscribe, share. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, my washi here. I need something to hold it. Hold on. I forgot to grab something. My handy dandy thing here. So I do that. So I have the colors here. I don't really need much of anything else. I just wanted a little bit of embellishment, and it's just blank now with that information. So this is how I like to see it, just like this. This is fine for me. Let's see, maybe I'll just do a little, no, you know what, on second thought, I think I'll do a little more washi. Like that. Okay. So this is the final thing here, where I just talk a little bit about color magic. Everything's written down, and you know, I can refer to this now. I do have another page. Right here, where I have different correspondence in this section right here as well, so I can, you know, refer to this as well. So let's see if I can get in more. So right here, this tells me the color correspondences to the days of the week. So a lot of this matches, but at the same time, I now have my, you know, separate definitions of how I see it. And this is just taken from an old calendar I had. And I just like some of the information that was here, so I thought it was worth keeping. So I have this, and you know, a little bit about herbs as well. So I have that information, so you know, it's all here. So that is it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and if you've already subscribed, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, but this is my grimoire, and this is basically, you know, how I do it. You know, I just add pages as I go with things that resonate with me, and this is what I'm doing. So thanks again. Bye-bye.